Kittens Game. Kittens Game is a game that I just discovered yesterday, actually. And it starts off as a very simple little clicker game. You can gather catnip. Once you've gathered some catnip, you can plant a catnip field. You can refine catnip to turn into wood. And normally you would do things like build huts. And when you build huts, you get kittens to come in and work for you, and those kittens can be assigned to labor jobs such as wood cutting or science gathering. But I am doing something called Iron Will. This is where you play with no other kittens. Some things apparently cost less than normal, and my goal today is to make it to a mine. I have no idea how hard it is, but it's the first achievement in Iron Will mode. It can't be that hard, can it? So let's basically see what we can do. So the first thing is, as you can see, I've basically maxed out my catnip storage. I'll have to do something about that. I'm going to buy another catnip field. And, oh, I have to hit unpause. There we go. You have to hit unpause to actually make it take effect. All right. So the next catnip field costs more than 5,000 catnip, which means I won't ever get there without an upgrade somewhere. So the first thing is, let's see about getting our upgrades. We have let's see. I have 27.5 units of science. In order to actually make the, where was it? In order to actually make the next improvement, I need 30. Oh, here we are, Science tab. Calendar requires 30 units of science. And in order to get that, I need to have a rare astronomical event to observe. Lacking that, I'm going to do the other things which are available. At the moment, that's refining catnip. Refining catnip into wood. Right. Unpause. And this lets me get some wood. And I'm basically going to do this for a while. Unpause. All right. So at the moment, all I can do is make some catnip. I'm sorry, make some catnip. Turn that catnip into wood. Libraries will give me more science, which will improve the results of the sky observations when they come by. But at the moment, I'm basically just waiting for something good to happen. All right, so what else is going on here? Catnip takes 1.5 minutes to max out, at least in spring. During spring, you've got a 50% production bonus. Spring over here. During winter, you've got a huge negative on your catnip, and it basically doesn't pay at all. So what else? I don't think there's anything else going on at the moment. Just, as I said, turning catnip into wood. I am waiting for something else to show up as an unlock. I can help my catnip production with gather catnip over here. But considering that my normal catnip is 51 per second, I'm barely making maybe 5%, maybe a 5% difference. So that's simply not worth it. So wood. And I've got 40 wood. I should be seeing something else available to me at this point. At least I thought I would see something else available at this point. I'm not sure what's the holdup. At some point I will be able to build a barn which will increase my storage. Or I should see some type of astronomical event to observe which will increase my science. And right now I'm basically just waiting around for that. If you think I know what I am doing in this game, the answer is actually I don't. As I said, I just found this game yesterday. My first playthrough, I actually managed to earn the achievement for killing 10 kittens by starvation in winter. And in case you're not aware, you normally only get up to 10 kittens at the beginning of the game. So I basically killed everybody off within my first 4 years of gameplay. It was not fun. Not fun at all. Anyways, so let's see. Double checking how things are going at the moment. Yeah, so Restream says everything is happy. The goal, as I said, is to build a mine without ever buying housing. My kittens, unfortunately, I managed to wipe my save by accident. So I'm starting over with no kittens, and I figured, what the hell, let's go for Iron Will. All right, so let's see how the various streaming sites are happy or not happy. Mixer, Twitch. Oops, I need to tell it which. Mixer, Twitch, and YouTube. Come on, come on. User key bounce 2 and make sure that everything is working. What? tinyurl.com/keybounce2. All right, so yeah, so it's happy. All right, so Twitch is not happy and Mixer is not happy. Twitch is starting to become happy. And Mixer is just hopeless. All right. So none of them are really too happy. Lovely. Well, they all say they're happy on the Restream. All right. Okay, so as I was saying, refine catnip. Sorry. Unpause. Refine catnip. And as I said, I'm trying to get some type of happening. At the moment, the only thing I can do is spend my wood on a library or build or wait for more libraries. I am basically stuck until I get a science event in the sky to watch so that I can actually make my next advancement, which is the calendar. All right. So what else can I say about this game? As I said, I just found it out. It's a, apparently it is a civilization simulator. You start with a simple small group of people, and you're basically starting with a small group of people with your typical um, making the basics, doing some hunting, getting some basic technology, and so on. But eventually you can have thousands of kittens. You can have space technology. You wind up trading with all sorts of other civilizations. I don't know all the details. I just, we're already into summer, and why is it a penalty? Weather, negative 15%. So I'm in a cool summer and I'm not getting a full production. All right. Okay. It will take about a minute and a half to reach its cap. And what else can I say? I have nobody in chat talking to me. And you know, it would be so tempting to just make some huts, get some regular kittens in here and play normally, but no, I want to try the strange weirdness of a kittenless. Now, at some point, I'm supposed to be able to earn zebras. Instead of kittens, you can earn zebras. And zebras are used for hunting, which kittens normally do. But I'm not sure when you get them. Okay. All right, so let me see if I can gather some additional people to join in. Discord. Promotion. Oops. Silly. Restream. Promotions. Streaming. Kittens Game. Iron Will mode. Watch me make a mine without any kittens. Let's see. Twitch.tv/keybounce or YouTube. tinyurl.com/keybounce YouTube. All right. Okay. We are in autumn. And once again, I have a negative 15% penalty from weather. So I've managed to have 2 cool seasons in a year, in a row. I am still waiting to see a rare astronomical event. They may be rare, but you normally get about one a year. And so far I have gotten a grand total of 1, and this is the 4th year of the game right now. All right. Oop! Wrong button. Mouse moved. Okay, so let's make some more wood. What I want to know is, at what point do barns unlock? Normally, when you play with kittens, barns unlock rather quickly, so you can expand your storage capabilities. And at this rate, I might actually hit my wood max before I see another astronomical event. That would be annoying. Hi there, kitty kitty. Hello, kitten. If I do wind up maxing my wood and catnip before I see anything else, I will just buy some huts and go back to normal mode. Because at that point, it will just be ridiculous. Note that during winter, even though I have 55 catnip fields, during winter I'm only making basically 8.5 catnip a second. That will feed 2 people. Each kitten normally consumes about a little over 4 a second. And while you can make some farmers, so that's always an option, and in fact it's kind of essential and required early game, it's still very much a case that you rely on making your surplus in spring to carry you through the rest of the year. I think that my manual clicking adds about 3 to 5 per second. This game runs on a 5 ticks per second clock, and it actually disables the button after each time, so you can't just you can't do the rapid, it won't even take the keyboard focus, so you can't do the hold enter. There we go, observe the sky, there we go. Now that will give me the science I need for calendar. Year 6, okay. Hide the research topics. Agriculture, I need another 60 units of science. And I have the time tab. All right. So I need another 60 units of science. So I'm going to make a bunch of libraries, because if that last one was worth, the last one was worth 42 units of science. So I need to make a bunch more libraries so I can get my next one up to 60 units. Next one is 88 units of wood. All right. Spring. So I'm getting a plus 65% weather. That's a really nice weather bonus. This is as good of a production as I will ever get. Okay, so let's see what else I can do at this point. I need another 40 units of wood for another library, and I need to get my science up to 100. So I'm hoping to be able to get enough libraries to get a jump on my next sighting, my next sky sighting. Okay. So here's where I'm at, is that I need agriculture for 100 science. I'm hoping that will improve my catnip production even in no people mode. Just a moment. So a little bit on the time. Each season is 100 days. There's 400 days in a year. It takes about 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008. It looks like about 2.5 seconds for a day. There we go, another library. All right, so I now have 10 libraries. Each one improves my science output by 10%. The base library, the base was 25, I believe. So 10% should add 2.5. So that should get me up to plus 50 science. And I need 60 to be able to make it to the next one. So I need I still need 4 more libraries. $25 base and 35 boost at 2.5 per All right, so we've gone into summer. Catnip production has dropped down. So I'm trying to figure out what does it take to get a barn? Because as I said, in normal mode with kittens, you get the barn very quickly. Mixer still doesn't want to connect. Twitch doesn't want to connect. YouTube doesn't want to connect. And what else is there that I can say or do at the moment? Well, probably nothing. Restream says that there is one Twitch viewer, one YouTube viewer, and no Mixer viewers. Yeah, Mixer refused to connect properly for whatever reason. Twitch and YouTube are at least okay. So let me gather some catnip to help the production. Oop, wrong button. So the next library needs 101 wood. All right. And as much as this guy here is claiming that it's trying to use the speaker, I'm not hearing anything in it. Okay, so a little louder and I can now hear myself. Here we go, here we go. Twitch is kind of behind behind times. And Mixer just absolutely refuses to start up properly. Okay. I am still waiting for another rare astronomical event. As I said, they normally come once a year. Normally they come about once a year, but at this point I am in year 7 and I've only had 2. So that's really slow. I've just been unlucky on that. All right, so get ready, catnip is over here. And in a moment, we're going to go into winter. No, we go into autumn. Silly, silly autumn. Ah, observe the sky. There we go, plus 50 science. I can make the 11th library now. These are definitely less science costs than normal. But at the same time, your science production is a lot less than normal. And I don't quite have enough. I need another sky observation to get up to the tech level. All right. So how long does it take before all of those pumps and pushes finish? Notice that it's flickering. So the gather catnip rate is not very, the manual gather catnip rate is not very rapid. The next library will cost me 116. And as somebody asked me, you get libraries before you get writing. So as I was saying to him, Cantonese is probably a spoken language. And I don't know how they would store audio or anything else for that matter. Excuse me. Fixana. 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 It's enough. It's enough. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Okay. All right. And nothing in the sky yet. Okay, nothing in the sky, and almost into winter. I have not been able to unlock any of the things that I was expecting to unlock by now. As I said, this is my second game. My first game I discovered the basics yesterday, and this is my first time trying Iron Will mode. And Puppy, puppy. There you go. All right. Winter. So right now it says that my tap time is 8 minutes and 40 seconds. If I spend a minute hitting the gather catnip button, 8 minutes and 30 seconds. So at 58:18, and I just spend a minute hitting gather catnip, what does that do to the time to how much of an improvement does this make? Now, some of you might actually be wondering, why am I doing a text game? The answer is simple. For the last 3 weekends now, on Saturday and Sunday afternoons, my internet upload speed drops to horrible rates. Last weekend, I could not even manage to stream a text display game like this. I was actually playing Frank Lanz's Paperclips, Universal Paperclips, and I could not even manage to stream that for without things crashing on me. So and today I'm having a very bad, well, I saved about a minute. So it basically doubles my gathering speed in winter. I could not even stream a text game like this last weekend because my internet was so bad. And today my internet is noticeably bad. It's gone from the normal upload rate is 10 megabits a second. Today it's around 1 megabit a second in the afternoon. Right now, OBS says it's actually uploading at about 400 a second. So I'm playing a text game because for some reason, weekend afternoons, my internet upload speed crashes down to almost nothing. There we go. Library number 12. I am still waiting for another rare astronomical event. And I'll tell you guys what, if anybody is paying attention, and of course I'm sure nobody is, end of year 8, if I haven't gotten anything, year 9 I'll get some regular kittens and play a normal game. Now, one thing that I did discover, surprisingly, is that you can hit pause, and it says that it's 1 minute to cap. So I just sit here for a minute, and I discovered this by accident last night while playing with the normal game. Basically, if you are in pause mode, the day of the year doesn't advance. You stay spring, which gives you the huge production bonus. And it was a much simpler, easier game to play. So I'm going to give that a try. You still get the sky events. Even when you're in pause mode, you still get the sky events. You collect them automatically without having to click on anything. It's apparently intended to permit just letting the game. The theory was that you can just let the game resume overnight. So I tried that. Unfortunately, the save game got deleted by a privacy app that had not been configured to permit this site. So that was less than enthusiastic. All right. So for example, right now I just got a 44-day boost, and my spring day has not changed. And I've gotten a huge increase in my catnip supply. So that is potentially a nice abusable system. Note, for example, I should have just now turned all of that catnip into wood. Another 24 days. It's a horrifically abusive way to play. So yeah, the catnip is producing at the same rate. I'm able to generate wood. I'm staying in spring. I have not yet seen anything happening in the sky, which is super, super annoying. All right. So this iron will mode is super, super dull. Even by any standard, super, super dull. What is this thing over here? I just noticed it. Magic Kitten Level 2. What is that anyways? It's a donation button. No. All right. Well, now I know. Okay. Turn some catnip into wood. It will take 100 and it'll basically take another 36 wood, or 3,600 wood, 3,600 catnip to be able to make that next library. And if I'm not getting another science event, it's really not worth it. All right, so yeah, so going to wait for this thing to finish this current year. And if I can get a science event and something happens, great. If not, I'm going to switch back to normal mode because this is just too boring. Even for me, this is too boring. This is the sort of thing that you leave running overnight and come back to once every couple of days. A couple times a day. This is not something that you would do on a regular basis. All right. So right now I'm just keeping my catnip level around 4,000. I'm going to go through the year, and if I can get another science event, great. And if not, I'm just going to give up and go back to normal play. The goal of this was simply to make it all the way to a mine, but it's just taking it's far too boring, even for anything. Now a 5,000 bonus catnip to start and good production should make it nice and happy for my kittens if I do wind up bringing them in. Spring is almost over. No sign of an astronomical event. And that will be the end of spring. 98, 99, drops from 51.5 to 40. Warm summer, so I'm getting a bonus. I can make another library. I'm going to hold off on it. If I actually see an astronomical event, I'll buy a library and then observe the sky. Otherwise, I'm just going to try to max out my wood in cases I expect I'm not going to actually get anything. All right, we are coming up on an hour of this. This has just been, yeah. As I said, at the end of this year, I'm just going to buy myself some huts and say enough, and this is just going to be a failure. Note that I have almost maxed out my wood storage. That's maxed out wood storage. I'm going to max out my catnip real soon now. All right. Yeah. Note that I've already gotten my catnip into the near max zone. So I'm just going to have to say that at the end of this year, the iron will mode is going to be a failure for this. The experiment with iron will is going to be a failure, and I'm just going to say no. Okay, so basically 2 minutes to reach max. So it's going to max out roughly in winter. And then I'm just going to start a normal game with this bit of a head start in year 9. All right. Iron will mode is too dull. Seriously, too dull. How does anyone manage sanity in this mode?